While psychopaths may seem similar to malignant narcissists, they're completely different. Also, all psychopaths are narcissists, but not all narcissists are psychopaths. Malignant narcissism sits on the spectrum in between narcissistic personality disorder, known as NPD, and psychopathy. It's kind of like their hideous, violent, out of control toddler. I'm Sarah Wilder, and this is Pool Talk for part 32D, an episode on malignant narcissism, where I wrap up these episodes on psychiatric mental illnesses. Today, we're going to talk about the why of this behavior born of a twisted mind, malignant narcissism. I'm going to refer to it as MN, okay? And then for narcissistic personality disorder, I'm going to refer to that as NPD. Okay, I hope that's all right. So, malignant narcissists exhibit behavior consistent with violent psychopathology. It's an attribute linked by studies to abnormalities in the brain's prefrontal cortex due to an adversely traumatized brain. Some modifications to the MN's aberrant brain that creates the propensity for and the ability to commit unspeakable acts of violence include, and I'm going to list these things off. There's 4 things. You know, I love a list. I love me a Harvard bullet point outline. I'm going to kind of read these off because I don't want to get the information wrong. I'm floating. It's 102, and the ink on my paper is running because it's wet. Always some trouble. Thank you for being here. Okay, the first one is A. The malignant narcissist lacks any emotional connection to the horrible things that they do to others. Any of these acts taken against others, no matter how heinous, they have no emotional reaction to it or connection with it. The second one, B, is narcissistic rage. This is a colorful term ascribed to the perpetual state of anger and a constantly accruing need for violent expression that fuels horrible outbursts. The third one, C, destructive narcissism. Now, this is when the simmering kettle of narcissistic rage boils over. You get destructive narcissism. This is what drives the sadistic and unconscionable violence and is responsible for the extreme degree to which malignant narcissists apply their deficits. Last and definitely worst is egocentric sadism. This one trait delineates malignant narcissism from narcissistic personality disorder. This is an internal, egotistical personal code of ethics that drives an outward behavior exhibited by a total lack of remorse, which we've already talked about, coupled with enjoyment of causing and witnessing the suffering of others. So if you haven't already had enough, and if you want to hear more, please join me for part 32D on an episode on malignant narcissism, where I conclude my research on these conditions that Spirit had so strongly indicated Jim suffers from. I'm Sarah Wilder. This is Surviving the Man I Married.